Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well, and today I wanted to discuss with you guys how I personally take care of my devices to keep them in good condition. So it's important to keep your devices in good condition to not only make them last as long as possible because, let's face it, devices are very expensive nowadays. Right here's my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Here's my OnePlus 12, two of my all-time favorite devices. So you want to make them last as long as possible, or for whenever you do sell them, you want them to be as in good condition as possible because it will bring a higher resale value. Now, everyone will have a slightly different method of how they take care of their devices, but the tips I'm giving in this video, I believe to be a pretty good guidance for how to do exactly that. Okay, so the first thing you guys may notice is that on both of my devices, I have a case. Now, that is something I almost always do, and I recommend to people is to put a case on their device. It helps keep it mostly protected, and in a lot of instances it can add extra grip. Such as on this Spigen case on my OnePlus 12, it adds some extra texture on the sides of the case for better grip. I definitely like that. Now as far as the iPhone case, this is also a Spigen case. Spigen is one of my favorite brands. Highly, highly recommend Spigen. There are lots of other good case makers out there such as Ringkey or Spec, UAG, lots of good case brands, but I just think for the price and for what you get, Spigen is a very good brand. As far as the case here on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, it doesn't add any extra grip, but that's okay because the iPhone is kind of a boxy design. So for me personally, it gives a bit better grip anyway, and it still keeps the phone protected. Now, if we flip over to the front here, I definitely recommend people to use a screen protector. It's equally as important to protect your screen because that's how you're interacting with your device. That's what lets you do everything that the device can do. Now, I do not have a screen protector on either one of these. For a long time, I had a screen protector on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and as I said, I definitely recommend to use a screen protector, but for me personally, I am not very clumsy with my devices, so I feel comfortable using my devices without a screen protector. Now, some people may carry their phone in their pocket with like keys or a knife or something like that, whatever you're carrying in your pocket. I definitely recommend not carrying your phone in a pocket with something else in it. Just dedicate a pocket to your phone, and that will help prevent scratches on your devices from those objects. Now let's talk about cleaning your phone, okay? It's important to keep your phone clean because you don't want dirt to get like in the speakers or in the charging port, in the earpiece, anything like that. I know most phones nowadays are dust and water resistant, but it's still a good practice to keep your devices clean. You don't want any dirt or lint or anything getting in your charging port. So I want to show you guys what I do to clean my devices. So if my cases get dirty, right, if we fold these back over here, if my cases get dirty, I typically either clean them with these right here. These are alcohol prep pads, okay? You can also use these to clean your screen. Even if you have a screen protector on it, you can still wipe it down, right? It'll get a lot of those smudges off there, oiliness on your screen. So alcohol prep pads are really cheap at like Walmart, Walgreens, wherever, okay? Probably even Amazon. You can use these on cases, but you have to be careful because some cases are antimicrobial, which kind of heeds germs and stuff like that. I would not recommend using these on an antimicrobial case because it will leave your case feeling tacky and kind of sticky, and you don't want that. So if you're not sure if your case is antimicrobial, just try to find where you bought it from, Amazon, Newegg, Apple, wherever you purchased it from, and see if you can find out in the description or in the title itself if it's an antimicrobial case. And if it is, I would just maybe wash it in the sink, not with soap or anything, but like water, and then maybe dry it off with a washcloth or a hand towel or, something like that. Maybe even distilled water too. That's probably a safer bet, is to use distilled water. Now, as far as the case here on my OnePlus 12, this Spigen, It is not an antimicrobial case, so I have used the alcohol prep pads to clean this, right? Because sometimes you handle your phone when you've got greasy fingers, right? You've either been working on something or you're eating and you're trying to text people back as you're eating, right? Wash them in the sink with just water, or get like a bottle of distilled water, right? A little spray bottle, and also a microfiber cleaning cloth. Okay, this will get a lot of the dust and stuff off of your phone, and I try to do this at least once a week on my devices, so this will get a lot of the dust and stuff off of your phone. And if you do choose to go with the distilled water cleaning method, you could spray distilled water on your microfiber cloth and clean your devices. Okay, and also when I clean mine, I usually pull the case off. So, I would go maybe wash this in the sink, dry it off really well. I wouldn't put it on immediately. I still, even though I dry it, I'm just cautious. I still let this dry for maybe half an hour before I put it back on my phone. So, just wipe it down. Now, let's talk about how to keep your phone in good working order in terms of the software. Now, me personally, I almost always update my operating system if there's an update. So there we go, iOS 18.1. That is a personal preference. And I also like to keep all of my apps up to date for the most part. So, check for those updates. If you are having trouble with an app, you can always turn off auto update. At least on Android you can. I'm not sure about iOS. Now let's talk about battery health. There is a lot of articles out there regarding battery health and how to keep your battery healthy. Now, I just want to preface this by saying my charging habits are not, like always the greatest, right? But I do try to practice good charging habits. So if I'm at home and I know I'm not going out that day, I try to limit charging on both of my devices to 80-85%. So if we take a look here at the battery on my iPhone 15 Pro Max and we go under charging, you can see for the most part I keep it on 85%. Now, depending on what kind of device you have, whether it's Samsung, a Google Pixel, or a OnePlus, the charging limits can be a little different. So if we go here on the OnePlus and we type in, okay, and we go to charging limit here, if you enable charging limit on the OnePlus, it will stop charging at 80%, which, as you can see, currently I have on. Now, I will turn this off and fully charge if I just have some battery anxiety, right? We all kind of have a little bit of battery anxiety. You're going out, you don't know how long you're going to be away from a charger. Now, they do make charging packs, which I do have some of those. So if I feel like I'm going to have a long day, I will turn off these charging limits and charge up to 100%. But if I'm here at home, I try not to charge up to 100% all the time, just to keep the battery capacity as high as possible for as long as possible. And some other things I try to do is, just keep both my phones in a pleasant environment, right? You don't want it to be too cold or too hot. Sometimes I see people, they'll get out of their vehicle and just leave their phone in the hot heat or the extreme cold. They don't take it with them. And I definitely don't recommend leaving your phone in your car or somewhere with extreme cold or extreme heat. Now, it's okay if you slip up. I certainly have. But for the most part, try to practice these good habits. I also recommend good name brand charging accessories. Ugreen, Anker, right? Those are my two go-to brands for charging accessories. So use a good quality charger and a cable. On one of my previous videos, I had someone ask me about fast charging. What's my take on that? Slower is always better, because it will not produce all of that heat while you're charging. But on the flip side of that, I think the trade-off for the little bit of heat that's produced when you're fast charging, phones nowadays are more than capable to handle that kind of heat. Now, also, don't have your phone like on your dash like this, GPSing, You know, it's in the direct sunlight from your windshield and on charge, right? Definitely don't do that. It will overheat. But if you do plan on keeping your device very long term, we're talking 3, 4, 5 years, I would say more often than not, if you can and you're willing to wait for your phone to take a while to charge, use a slower charger to prolong your battery. Also, in terms of, you know, what to keep your battery percentage between. Me personally, I almost never let my devices drain below like 30%. Once I hit 30%, especially 25 or even 20, which is rare for me, I'm like, bam, okay, I need to put this on the charger. Don't drain your phone down to the single digits very often, or even drain it until it's dead, right? So try to avoid doing that. So yeah, that's some of the things I do to keep my devices in good working condition. I hope you guys were able to take away some good tips from this video, and I believe if you implement some of them, it will keep your phone in physically good condition as well as the software and the battery. Let me know down in the comments what you guys do to take care of your devices. What's the worst thing you've ever done to your phone? I think that'll be an interesting conversation. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit like and also the subscribe button for more content. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.